Good morning. I want to show you the basic chip. Most people come through and they stop right about there, and that's about as far as the club goes usually. Sometimes it's just a little dig like that. And another thing that people do is they get really wristy, wrist action. And you don't use your arms very much. And worst case scenario, you don't even have your left arm straight. You're just kind of doing that and hacking at it. Every once in a while you'll hit a really good one, and so you'll stick with that. But that's the curse of golf. Every time you hit a great shot, you think that you did everything right, and what it means is that at impact everything was right. The problem is the consistency, of course. So I'm going to teach you how to be more consistent when you're chipping. You might even be able to guess, since I was saying most people think it's the backswing. It's actually the forward swing. Okay, so when you're chipping, you want to go I'll go back to the backswing actually, because as far back as you go, that's as far forward as you need to go. Okay, chipping gets difficult because there's one rule that I like to keep in mind, and it's that your left arm needs to stay straight and needs to be one with the club. I will break my wrists a little on the backswing, maybe just like that. Okay, even that is from just years and years of practice. I would recommend, if you're new to chipping or if you really need some help with chipping, try and be almost Bryson DeChambeau-ish, right? Be very, very awkward and straight, but you keep your left arm and the club as one. This is a big straight line. Back and forward, back, forward, okay? Now if you're gonna go back this far, you need to go forward at least that far. You cannot come any shorter. So if I go back here, and I finish here, I have done something wrong. I have stopped too early. If you go back here, you need to finish here or even farther. Kind of depends if you're really making an aggressive chip, right? And you'll get better at this too. But the idea is you need to be accelerating through impact with the ball. It's very counterintuitive in the way that it feels when you do it. You're doing a really short shot. You don't want to be accelerating. You want to be decelerating because you're trying to finesse the ball right to where you want it on the green. And that's natural. And that's totally fine to be like that. I'm just teaching you it's going to be very inconsistent. So when you go back, accelerate. So that means that is going to affect your backswing, because now instead of doing this, if I'm back here, that means I have to be accelerating all the way down through impact, and I'm going to get a pretty big swing out of that. It's going to go a lot farther than you think. If I'm just chipping 5 or 10 yards, a real short backswing, right? Not even that, right here, okay? And that's it right there. As long as you're accelerating through impact, you're going to be much more consistent. Weight should always be forward. And some people say 60%, I'd say almost 70% maybe on that front foot, even a little bit more on shots that are really, really precise, or you need to kind of open up the club face, and we'll go over that some other time. But weight on the front foot, and then hit down through the ball. You want to hit the ball before you hit the grass. That is a universal principle. So, straight left arm with the club, as far back, that's as far forward. Accelerate through, down through the ball, and weight on your front foot. Just like that. Boom. It's even a good idea when you're practicing, especially, pause at the top and think about it. I like to think of it like a pinball machine. If you're and you're going to hear me say this a lot, especially with putting. Think about the last time you played pinball, whenever that was. Hopefully not too long ago. We want to still be children at heart. You know that you can just pull it all the way back and let it go, and the ball's just going to bounce around it. But if you've ever tried to master a certain pinball machine, you pull it back just a little. You can even adjust it, and then you let the knob go. Kind of the same thing, especially when you're practicing. Practice that. Get it? Almost feel like you're pulling back on a spring, right? And practice that move forward there. Okay, ready to see a couple? Let's hope I do all right. Another thing with chipping, I'll go over this another lesson. You rarely ever hit the ball out of the middle of my stance. It's always either in the front or in the back. Since this is a downhill putt, or a downhill chip, I'm opening up my stance a little bit, and I'm gonna hit it off my front foot, weight forward, trying to just barely get it on the green right there. Just like that. Okay, show you another one. Couple from the back, same, just so you can kind of see how it looks here. Back, just barely forward, but I'm accelerating through impact. If you can't accelerate through impact and get the ball to come close to the hole, then you're taking it too far back, or not far enough back, right? But the idea, usually we go a little too far back, and if you accelerate, it's really gonna fly. I'm just trying to barely hit it to the edge of the fringe here. And so we're just gonna go back a little, accelerate through. Just like that. Back, accelerate. I hit the grass first. I tell you about that? Don't hit the grass first. But we're practicing, so it's okay. You don't get mad when you're practicing. You can get mad when you're playing, that's fine. You can throw clubs and everything. But here, we're just practicing, we're getting better. Let's try and hit the ball first this time as I accelerate through. It's like that. One last thing about chipping. I don't know how well you can see the hole. That last chip was pretty darn good. When you're chipping, especially when you're starting out and you're working really hard to learn and master like the actual stroke, do not worry about the outcome. In other words, only focus on where the ball is landing. You want to pick a spot for it to land and try and get it to land there every time. To avoid the temptation, don't chip to a hole. Let's say that, okay? In this case, I was just chipping in the general direction of the hole, but my target was the fringe, okay? Just the very edge of the fringe there, maybe a couple inches before it, whatever. But so I'm judging myself based on, can I get the ball to land, the very first landing where I wanted it to? And if so, I'm great. Because at that point, if you can control your chips like that, then you can go out and just with your muscle memory and your instinct, then you can start going everywhere on the green and seeing how is the ball gonna roll out? How am I spinning this? Is it going whatever direction? Again, lessons for another time, but that's the basics of chipping. So, review it again. Left arm straight with the club. As far back, that's as far forward that you need to be going. And one last thing I forgot to mention here too. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. But one last thing I forgot to mention. Don't ever break your wrists like this when you're chipping. At most, you can go back a little. I'm sure you saw me do that again. That's from years of practice. But when you're going through, you stop it. And that's another reason why people get in the habit of stopping right there, because it's hard to do. But that left arm needs to flow freely. Just let it flow. The left arm can flow. Just keep it straight and never let the club break past your left arm. I swear that will help you so much with your chipping consistency. Just like that, okay? So the left arm straight, don't break past that impact. Accelerate through, and weight on your front foot, okay? Hitting down to the ball. Easy. Golf is easy when you think about it.